Everybody, welcome to the Auditory Vinyl. I'm Doug. It's mid-July, which means it's very hot, humid. Just got done mowing the yard. It's about 90 degrees out. It's bullshit. But it's Saturday, which means it is the week in music. Gonna look back at some releases over history and a few other things. So this week, July 7th, Ringo Starr turned 83. Man. In 1967, the Monkees toured with Jimi Hendrix, and it didn't last all that long because the producers and whatnot decided to drop Jimi Hendrix, or at least separate the two, because the two audiences just, it wasn't working. 1978, July 8th, after 6 months on the #1 spot, Saturday Night Fever soundtrack got knocked off by Jerry Rafferty's City and City. Baker Street, right down the line. The title track, Stealing Time. A lot of great tunes on there. And of course, the Bee Gees soundtrack had the Bee Gees hit Stayin' Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, Jive Talkin', but it also had hits from other people like Yvonne Elliman's If I Can't Have You, the Tramps, Disco Inferno. So yeah, had a good run until Jerry Rafferty knocked him off. And then also July 8th, 1981, Go-Go's released their debut with hits Our Lips Are Sealed and We Got the Beat. It was a huge debut for them. Went to #1, sold over 3 million copies. Yeah, it was big. And there's alternative covers with different shading and colors, I guess. But that was a big one. July 9th, 1983, Every Breath You Take, #1. It was off the Synchronicity album, which I don't have. This is their comp, best of, which is, it's on here. Actually, the 86 version is on here, where they, I don't know, added some electronics and kind of sped it up a little. But I like the older version better. Also on July 9th, Courtney Love turned 60, which at first I couldn't believe that she was that old, but then I'm 57, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. In 1967, Satisfaction from the Stones was at #1 for 4 weeks, and this is a very rough copy. It's a mono version of Out of Our Heads, but Satisfaction was on. It's so rough that I don't even play it, but it's on the old Red London. But the song Satisfaction in 1998 went to the Grammy Hall of Fame, and in 2006 the National Recording Registry put it into the Library of Congress. So quite the quite the song. Of course, they had tons of hits. July 10th, 1976, Starland Vocal Band with everybody's favorite song, Afternoon Delight, was at #1 for 2 weeks. Big song for them. Also, July 10th, 1976, or I mean, this year, Arlo Guthrie turned 77. July 11th, Three Dog Night went to #1 with Mama Told Me Not to Come, the Randy Newman song. And this album, the artwork or photography, I mean, the front's halfway normal. In the back, it gets a little weird with the guy in the mask and that stuff, but what's really weird is this, and then that guy up here that I don't know what he's supposed to be, or pretty bizarre. But yeah, Mama Told Me Not to Come. It was also covered by Eric Burdon and a few other people, and again, Three Dog Night had tons of #1 hits. I'm still sweating. I should have waited, but whatever. July 11th, 1970, Woodstock soundtrack went to #1. You've all seen it and know it. Heard all the bands and songs that are on this thing. They say the sales of this kind of helped with the loss of all the money from the concert, but they never got back what they lost when they basically just started letting everybody in for free. July 11th, 1975, Fleetwood Mac, the 10th studio album, and this is the one with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. And it says this, after it was released, it took a year, and then it finally went to #1, and it spent 37 weeks in the top 10 and more than 15 months in the top 40, which is pretty amazing considering their next album, Rumors, it sold even more than that. But yeah, this was a great album with Rhiannon, Over My Head, Landslide, Say You Love Me. A lot of great tunes on there. July 11th, 1987, Heart went to #1 for 3 weeks with the song Alone off the Bad Animals album. It's another one of those deals where the producers and management decided to bring in some other writers because their previous couple albums weren't doing so good. But the Wilson sisters did do some writing on this. They just didn't write the hit Alone. But it was a big hit for them. July 11th, Richie Sambora turned 65. July 12th, 1986, Simply Red's Holding Back the Tears, or Holding Back the Years, sorry, went to #1. It was their first U.S. #1 song. Guy's got a great voice, very smooth and good tunes. July 13th, 1974, Elton John. Among his many #1s, album Caribou went to #1 with the hit singles The Bitch Is Back and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Both propelled it to #1. There's also, I like Dixie Lily is a good tune, and so is You're So Static. Good tunes off of that album. July 13th, Roger McGuinn of the Byrds turned 81. And then some new releases coming out this week. John Lennon's Mind Games from '73 being re-released with some extra outtakes and stuff. Van Halen's For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge coming out with another one. They've come out with multiple. Seems like every, 5 years they come out with another one. This is a box set. It's got 1 vinyl, 2 CDs, and a book. Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge, the 30th anniversary is being re-released. Double album, one's red and one's yellow. Iron Maiden's debut, re-released. I just picked that up. It's a great album. Mr. Big, a new album called 10. It's coming out this week, or is already out. And Christopher Cross re-released his self-titled one with the big hit Sailing on there. People touring this week. Bush, that'd be a good one. Judas Priest on tour. Skillet and Seether doing a show together. Chris Stapleton and Journey and Def Leppard are together. So there you go. There's some good shows to look for when you're looking for a show to hit, and some new records for you to check out. Again, thanks for watching the Auditory Vinyl. I'm gonna go dip my head in a bucket of ice or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for being here. Enjoy the music.